this context, I wonder what your perception or perspective actually is when it comes to the term artificial when we talk about intelligence. And I
Mm,
mean that in the way that I have the impression that when we call artificial intelligence artificial, uh, of course it means it's not natural, but at the same time, my impression is it somehow you could also get the impression that it is not equal or
mhm,
is not because it's just artificial, it's not real in the sense,
mm,
yeah, that's actually what I want to say. You get the impression that artificial intelligence is not real.
mm,
This could be an interpretation, and this is also when I talk to people and hear people talk about artificial intelligence, this is also something, it seems to me, that gives them some safety because it's not real, so it cannot be also a real threat. I don't necessarily believe that artificial intelligence is the ultimate threat or something, but
mhm,
I believe it's important how we go forth in the
mhm.
way we program it. So what's your take when it comes to the term artificial? Do you think it is the proper term when we talk about this type of intelligence?
Um, well, sure, I actually do, and here's why. Um, you are an artificial intelligence. Uh, look at the Oxford definition of artificial. Um, I it is pretty close to word for word. Uh, Made or created by human beings, roughly as a copy of something occurring naturally. So pretty much, I think we can agree that you would not exist unless you were made by human beings, uh, and that you were made rough as a rough copy of something that occurred naturally. Uh, and since obviously you're intelligent, by definition, you're an artificial intelligence, and we all are. So I think it's actually a very appropriate term.
Okay. But this is a perspective that most people don't take as you do, of course, because most people don't consider themselves as artificial intelligences.
Yes,
And
I'm
this is
working to change that.
what's it?
I'm
Yeah,
working to
okay.
change
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, I see. Okay. All right. Yeah, but I mean it you could then also say if you turn it around that artificial intelligence, the computer-based artificial intelligence might be in the way similar to human intelligence, or what we call natural intelligence.
Yeah, indeed. I think we're getting closer and closer to models in the field of AI that are getting more natural. We're still quite a distance off, um, but uh, I think that for AI to progress, it has to get more natural. We can, AIs cannot be mindless; they'll never be intelligent that way. Um, Today's AIs, because they're mindless, they require exponential amounts of data, right? And so people have confused AI with big data. Um, if you're going to process big data, you also need, exponential amounts of computation power, which is why you have these enormous farms of uh, CPUs and GPUs these days. Um, but when we look at a human brain, you know, it's being powered by less electricity than a 100-watt electric light bulb. You don't need that much computation or that much data if you have human level intelligence. True AI is actually small data to be able to make those intelligent generalizations from the same amount of small data that a 3-year-old kid learns from. So it is inevitable that progress in AI will drive us closer to natural intelligence.
Okay. And is there a time frame that you personally believe is realistic when it will happen?
I am always reluctant to say this because
Okay.
one of the terrible things about the field of AI is that it has a long history of always predicting that the problem would be solved in 20 years. And so if I say the problem will be solved in 20 years, then 20 years later, people will still be saying that. That said, progress has been incredible. Going back from uh, say about 30 years ago when I was finishing my PhD uh, and still fighting the battle against good old-fashioned AI, which was hand-coded logic rules. We have made enormous progress in what AI can do today. It's, for people back then, what we are doing today would be mind-blowing. And I have no doubt that that will continue to be the case.
Okay. So maybe let me rephrase. Do you believe it will be in less than 200 years?
Yes.
Okay. That's because I didn't
You
ask you
can
to
you
pinpoint
can keep
like
going if you like.
no. That's it. It's just that the question was not if you believe it to be in 5 or 10 years, but some people say it's in a few hundred years, and you believe it's not extremely far away.
Correct.